Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be showing you how to make grime in the style of Sir Spyro, mainly taking influence from his tracks Blacked Out with AJ Tracey and Mud with Capo Lee. This project file, plus the samples and presets, are available in the description for free, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram at ukb.tutorials if you feel like it. I've got a brand new grimy 808 Serum preset pack available in the description, but I'll talk about that later in the video. Our tempo is 138 BPM and our key is F minor. This is the kick. On the channel, we just have an EQ to remove some rumble and dampen the kick. The MIDI mainly follows the bass, which we'll see in a sec. Next, we have the snare. There is an EQ on the channel, and I have applied reverb via Send A. Predictably, it's this empty club preset. The MIDI is this grimy pattern, which usually hits on the third beat. There's often a dancehall vibe to Spyro's snare patterns, so I've tried to incorporate this influence. The two-step groove in the groove pool has been applied to the MIDI, and it's fairly mild with the timing at 25%. We have this trappy hat. On the channel, there's an EQ to cut the low frequencies. The hat has been panned to the right slightly, and reverb has been applied via Send A. The groove has already been committed. As you can see, this has altered the velocities of the notes. Notice the triplet fills as well. I'll solo all the drums so you can hear how the elements sound together. Next up are the basses. First, we have this grime top. This is made in Serum, as are all the other basses. We have a square wave, which has been taken down by 2 octaves with the unison increased to 7. The amp envelope has had its attack increased, and the voicing is monophonic, which is the same for all the basses in the project, plus the glide is always on. There's a low pass filter with its cutoff being modulated by LFO1, which is on envelope mode. In the effects, we have another filter to darken the sound. On the channel, we have an EQ3, which is removing the sub-frequencies, as we have this sine wave sub, which I'll show you in a second. This is the MIDI for the grime top. This is the sine wave sub. You might have noticed that it doesn't always overlap with the grime top, and this is because the grime top sometimes overlaps with the 808, which acts as the sub for these notes. We have a sine wave in the sub oscillator, which has been taken down by 2 octaves, and the voicing and envelope settings are the same as for the top. On the channel, we have compression and an EQ3 to remove any high frequencies. As mentioned, the MIDI is similar to the grime top layer. Next, we have the wobbler. This patch utilizes FM synthesis. Oscillator A is a square wave, which has been taken down by 2 octaves. The unison has been increased to 3, and FM from B has been turned up. Oscillator B is a sine wave with the level turned down, so we just get the effect of the FM. The amp envelope is this very short pluck shape. We have a low pass filter with some drive and the cutoff taken down. In the effects, there's distortion, mild compression, EQ to boost the highs, and then a filter just to tame these highs. On the channel, we have an EQ3 to level out the sub of the wobbler in comparison to the other basses by turning down the low band a little. For the MIDI, we have these triplet 8th note patterns, which play during the second or at the beginning of the second and 6th bars. Finally, we have this 808, which is a sample. I originally made this in Serum, and the preset is available as part of my new Grimy 808s Serum preset pack, which is linked in the description. The pack contains 15 different 808 presets. The pattern is simple and plays the root note of F and then a few G sharps. I'll just let you listen in context. On the bass group, we have an EQ to remove rumble and a notch where the fundamental of the kick is, so the kick punches through the bass better. Then we have bass monoing to 500 Hertz, as I wanted the sub-frequencies to be fully mono. Reverb is applied via send A, so this is the effects group. There's no processing on either channel, and we have a gunshot and a glass smash. On the group, we have an EQ8 to remove unnecessary low frequencies, and reverb is applied via send A. These are obviously quite standard grime style effects, but they help add a bit of flavor to the beat. Then we have the leads and pads. We have the choir. Which is from Kontakt's factory library. The cathedral reverb, which is on by default, has been taken down a little bit. This is the MIDI pattern. I've altered the velocities and timing a little bit. The pattern is inspired by Mod, where Spyro uses 2-note harmonies alongside single notes. This is the guitar lead. Which is made from a guitar preset I sampled from my Korg Triton, which is a classically grimy digital hardware synth. I added some EQ, short slapback delay with relatively small feedback, and chorus to achieve a lead sound very similar to the one heard on Blacked Out. The MIDI is just these little runs every couple of bars. And as you can see, the timing and velocities have been altered a little to humanize the lead a little bit more. Then we have this low horn. Which was also sampled from my Korg. There's an EQ cleaning up the lows and mids and cutting the highs to make the horn sound like it's in the background. Spyro uses horns on loads of his tracks, so this is something that seemed essential when I was making this project. The MIDI plays the same note as the 808 at the beginning of bars 1 and 5. On the leads pads group, we have bass mono up to 500 hertz and EQ3 to remove low frequencies so the instruments in the group don't clash with the basses. Then we have reverb via send A. Finally, we have the vocal chops. We have a band pass filter to background the sound since there may be someone rapping over the beat. And then we have reverb applied via send A. And that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching and check out my packs in the description. I'll see you in the next one.